Hi there, Jolene Brown here. It is summertime here on the Brown farm and everything is on the grow. The crops and the critters, the lawns and the gardens, but you know we need them to grow because we want a certain outcome at the end. I found that the same is true as I work with some really neat farm families, those who are productively on the grow, and I asked them a very specific question. It was, what is it that keeps you positively growing? And you know what? They had some things in common. Here are just three of the top things. The first one is this. They all said, Jolene, we notice more. We pay attention to the details, what works and what doesn't. And then we take a very keen look at the finances of our business, our return on investment, our cost of production. How can we increase our income and cut those expenses? They paid attention to the details. But what was really neat is they all said, Jolene, we pay attention to the details of the people. We take a look at our team and we say, gosh, what do they do well? And then we try to position them in their areas of strengths and competencies and the excitement for who they are and what they do. They try really hard to catch each other doing something good. And when that happens, they do not hold back on their encouragement, their praise, their reinforcement, and their appreciation for what has been done. They also are very specific in that feedback because they notice more. The second thing they had in common is that they said we give more than we have to. You know, when you and I go to a restaurant or we're served by someone who exceeds our expectations, we often leave a tip. So I began to wonder, how do these farm families tip their family members? And I discovered it's not with money. It is through their behaviors. One of the most important questions they asked is this: how can I help you do your job better? And then they listened and they implemented those changes. They also tried to catch each other at a real positive time and surprise them. So for example, I loved it when a young uncle said to me, I called my sister-in-law and I asked if I could take my young niece and my young nephew along to town for me because I'm going after parts. Hey, I think that would be fun. And she said, I want to come too. And all of them went together. Wouldn't it be neat if we could all join in our journey of agriculture? I also have a neighbor who is a landlord, and he's on the first name basis of the people at the local Dairy Queen about 25 minutes away, because he walks out with boxes of dilly bars. And then he goes down those country roads. He's always looking for those who rent his land, especially in the heat of the day when they're making that hay, and he delivers them not just a treat, he delivers them a thank you for who they are and what they do. Isn't it neat when we do more than what is expected? Because I know we get more in return. Which brings me to the last thing I can share that they all had in common, and that is they said we deliver in our ability to add value. In other words, they're looking for what can they do better or differently, because they've taught me school is never out for the people of agriculture. They have to keep learning. Can we use this? What do we need to stop doing? How can we improve not just ourselves, but our business and then give back to the community as well? They are always out there delivering more value. And when they do that, it increases their possibilities, which increase their productivity and their profitability along the way. Well, I love it when these three families have chosen to notice more, give more than what is expected, and learn how to deliver more value. I love these farm families who chose to keep on growing. And then there's my husband's grandmother, who did pass away at the very young age of 102 and 1/2 years old. She had a favorite expression that said, if you're green, you're growing, but once you're ripe, you start to rot. So let's all keep on growing.